The Mind of the Strategist, The Art of Japanese Business, by Kenichi Ohmae. This is a book summary. Strategy is not about planning. It's about outthinking your competition. Business is war, but not the kind fought with swords and shields. It's a battlefield of ideas, decisions, and mental agility. Imagine standing at the center of a high-stakes chess match, where every move must be deliberate, calculated, and above all, unexpected. You are not just another player in the game, you are a strategist. The difference? A player reacts. A strategist anticipates. And in this ever-changing business world, the line between success and failure often lies in how well you outthink your competition. But how do you do that? How do you develop the sharpness of mind to see moves ahead, find opportunities where others see obstacles, maneuver around industry giants, and carve your own path? Enter The Mind of the Strategist, the legendary book by Kenichi Ohmae. One of Japan's greatest business thinkers, Ohmae understood something that many still don't. True strategy isn't found in spreadsheets or corporate jargon. It's found in the way you perceive the game itself. It's about bending the rules, seeing hidden angles, and rewriting the competition's playbook. In this video, we're going to break down exactly how Ohmae's strategic principles can revolutionize the way you think about business, competition, and decision-making. If you're ready to sharpen your strategic mind and start thinking like a business samurai, keep watching, because this is going to change the way you see strategy forever. Part 1. The Art of Strategic Thinking. Kenichi Ohmae makes one thing crystal clear. Strategy is not about long, detailed planning. It's about thinking differently, spotting the opportunities your competitors overlook, making bold moves before they even see the threat, and staying 3 steps ahead in the game of business. He lays out 4 key principles that separate great strategists from the average business thinker. 1. Focusing on key factors, the power of precision. Not all aspects of business are equally important. In every industry, there are just a handful of critical factors that determine success or failure. Toyota revolutionized the auto industry not by making the best cars, but by relentlessly focusing on lean manufacturing and quality control, cutting costs while boosting reliability. Find the 1 or 2 key levers in your industry and pour your energy into them. Ignore the noise. Master what truly matters. 2. Building on relative superiority. Play to your strengths. You don't have to be the best at everything. You just need to be better at something that matters. Tesla didn't try to outcompete Ford or GM on gas-powered cars. Instead, they doubled down on electric vehicles, knowing legacy automakers were slow to innovate. Amazon wasn't the best at retail when it started, but it was the best at logistics and scalability, and that advantage made all the difference. Ask yourself, what is your relative superiority? What is the one advantage you have that your competitors don't? Double down on it. 3. Pursuing degrees of freedom, break the rules of the game. The best strategies don't come from following industry norms. They come from breaking them. Netflix didn't try to beat Blockbuster at renting DVDs. It removed DVDs from the equation entirely, introducing streaming before the industry even saw it coming. Uber didn't compete with traditional taxis on pricing or service. It removed the need for a taxi company altogether. True strategic thinkers don't just play the game differently. They redefine the game itself. 4. Exploiting strategic degrees of freedom. The art of the unexpected. This is where the creativity of strategy comes in. Instead of following the standard playbook, great strategists find hidden advantages and unexpected pathways to victory. Airbnb didn't own a single hotel room. Instead, it turned everyday homeowners into a global hospitality network. SpaceX didn't try to build rockets the NASA way. They figured out how to reuse rockets, slashing costs, and making space travel profitable. Kenichi Ohmae teaches us that great strategy is never obvious. It's hidden in the cracks, in the overlooked details, in the unconventional choices that others ignore. A samurai does not charge into battle blindly. He studies his enemy, finds his weakness, and strikes with precision. The same applies to business. If you want to win, you need to identify the key factors that truly drive success. Leverage your relative strengths rather than trying to beat competitors at their game. Pursue degrees of freedom to change the rules instead of playing by them. Part 2. The strategic triangle. In war, the general who controls the battlefield controls the outcome. In business, the company that masters the strategic triangle wins the market. Kenichi Ohmae's strategic triangle is one of the simplest yet most powerful frameworks for building a dominant business. It's not just a theory, it's a battle-tested strategy used by the world's most successful companies to stay ahead of the curve. And here's the secret. Most businesses fail because they focus too much on just one part of the triangle. They obsess over their own operations but forget their customers. Or they focus on price wars with competitors but ignore their own strengths. But the companies that own their markets are the ones that master all three sides. 1. Your company. What's your unique strength? Every business has a core strength, something it does better than anyone else. Your job as a strategist is to identify that strength and double down on it. Apple knew it wasn't going to compete on price. Instead, Steve Jobs leveraged the company's design and innovation to create products that people desired, not just needed. Tesla doesn't try to be another Ford or Toyota. It focuses exclusively on electric vehicles, knowing that legacy automakers struggle with that transition. Netflix isn't just a streaming platform, it excels at personalized content recommendations, making it indispensable to subscribers. Ask yourself, what does my company do exceptionally well? How can we make that strength even stronger? What can we do that our competitors can't easily copy? A strong company foundation is the first step. But strength alone isn't enough. You need customers who actually care. 2. Your customer. What do they really want? This is where so many businesses go wrong. They think they know what customers want. They assume they understand pain points. But assumptions kill businesses. Ohmae teaches that the best companies don't guess. They listen, adapt, and innovate based on what customers actually need. Amazon was built on customer obsession. Fast shipping wasn't just a feature. It was a competitive weapon. Every Amazon innovation, from Prime to Alexa, was designed to anticipate customer needs before they even realized them. Uber won by solving a pain point customers didn't even know they had: the inconvenience of hailing a taxi. Airbnb tapped into hidden demand, offering travelers unique, affordable stays instead of expensive hotels. Great businesses don't just sell products, they solve problems. Ask yourself, what are our customers' biggest frustrations? What do they wish existed? How can we make their experience so good that they'll never leave? But even if you know your strengths and understand your customers, there's still one more battle to win. 3. Your competitor. How can you outthink them? This is where the real game is played. The market isn't an open field, it's a battlefield. Your competitors aren't standing still, they're actively trying to outmaneuver you. But Kenichi Ohmae makes a bold point. Outthinking your competitors is far more important than outspending them. Google didn't become the world's leading search engine by pouring billions into marketing. It built a superior algorithm that competitors couldn't match. Netflix crushed Blockbuster, not by competing on price, but by changing the entire way people consumed entertainment. Tesla didn't fight GM and Ford in dealerships, it bypassed the dealership model entirely, selling directly to customers. Outthinking your competition means finding your edge and playing the game differently. Part 3. Adapting to modern business realities. In business, standing still is the same as moving backward. The only way to survive is to evolve. Strategic thinking is never static. It must evolve as the world evolves. History is full of businesses that refused to adapt and vanished. Kodak, once the king of photography, ignored the rise of digital cameras and was crushed. Blockbuster had the chance to buy Netflix, but dismissed streaming as a niche market. Even Nokia, once the world leader in mobile phones, failed to anticipate the smartphone revolution. The lesson? The world moves fast, and if you don't evolve with it, you'll get left behind. The best strategists don't just react to change. They anticipate it, shape it, and turn it into their advantage. Let's break down Ohmae's key insights on adapting to modern business realities. 1. Understanding the economic environment. The best strategists don't just play the game, they predict where the ball is moving next. The economy isn't just a backdrop, it's the battlefield. The most successful companies anticipate trends before they happen. Nvidia didn't become a trillion-dollar company by just selling gaming graphics cards. It saw the AI revolution coming years ahead of competitors. OpenAI, once a niche research lab, is now leading the AI revolution because it understood how AI would reshape industries before the world did. Amazon didn't wait for e-commerce to explode. It built the infrastructure before demand surged. If you want to win in business, you can't wait for trends to emerge. You need to spot them before they go mainstream. Study industries, analyze economic shifts, and position yourself ahead of the curve. 2. Coping with strategic change. Move before the market moves you. What worked yesterday may be obsolete tomorrow. The winners are the ones who see the shift before it happens. Change is inevitable, but most companies resist it. The best strategists don't just react to change, they embrace it, lead it, and profit from it. E-commerce versus traditional retail. The rise of Amazon and Shopify crushed brands that were too slow to move online. Brick-and-mortar retailers that adapted, like Walmart and Target, survived. Those that resisted, like Toys R Us, collapsed. The remote work revolution. When COVID-19 forced businesses to go remote, companies like Zoom thrived while traditional office giants struggled. The ones who embraced remote-first cultures gained access to global talent. AI replacing jobs. Companies that integrate AI now will dominate in the future. Those that ignore it will be left scrambling to catch up. Lesson? If a major shift is happening in your industry, don't wait, pivot before the market forces you to. 3. The Japan strategy myth. Why Japanese firms succeed. Tokyo's bustling streets, Toyota's factories, Sony's innovation labs. Forget what you think you know about Japanese business. Their success isn't about long-term planning. It's about adaptability and relentless competition. Many people believe Japan's business success comes from meticulous, long-term planning. But Ohmae argues otherwise. He reveals that Japanese firms win because they are incredibly flexible, fast-moving, and fiercely competitive. Toyota didn't just perfect car manufacturing, it pioneered the Kaizen, continuous improvement philosophy, where small daily adjustments lead to long-term dominance. Sony didn't plan 50 years ahead. It constantly reinvented itself, from consumer electronics to gaming to entertainment. SoftBank isn't a traditional conglomerate. It's an aggressive tech investor, always chasing the next big thing. Lesson? The real secret to long-term success isn't rigid planning. It's constant innovation and adaptability. The best strategists don't just think about today. They build for the next decade. Great leaders don't make decisions based on quarterly profits. They play the long game. They build moats that make it nearly impossible for competitors to catch up. Tesla didn't focus on short-term EV sales. It built gigafactories and a charging network to dominate for decades. Amazon didn't just sell books. It reinvested every dollar into infrastructure, AI, and logistics to create an unbeatable ecosystem. Google didn't stop at search. It built a data empire that powers AI, ads, and cloud computing. Lesson? If you want to be unstoppable, don't just think about what works now, build something that will still be dominant 10 years from today. So, what's the biggest lesson from the mind of the strategist? Strategy is not about long, complex plans. It's about adapting, anticipating, and making smarter moves than your competitors. The best strategists break the rules. They don't compete in the same way as everyone else. They redefine the game itself. If you want to win, master the strategic triangle, balance your company's strengths, customer needs, and competitor awareness. Most importantly, always be adapting. The game of business never stops changing. If you stop evolving, you start losing. Now, here's the challenge for you. What's one way you can start thinking like a strategist today? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you found this valuable, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more game-changing insights. Until next time, stay sharp, stay strategic, and keep winning.